today we're going to be talking about preparation, and what better guest to have on than a gentleman who has been registered with the Boy Scouts of America for over 57 years to talk about it. That's right, 57 years. My guest name is Dwight Yakel. I'm going to read Dwight's bio, and I asked him to trim it down since it's a very long one with many accomplishments. So he has given me the most current things, organizations that he's involved with, and I'm now about to read to you his bio. Okay, so let me do that for you, Dwight, so everybody knows who you are, and then we'll introduce you so you can say hi. Dwight here is currently registered as a chartered organization representative, a unit commissioner, the Longhorn Council Advancement Chairman, and a member of the Longhorn Council Executive Board. In other words, I volunteer on the unit, district, and council levels of scouting as a core, and you got to explain what that is. I interface between our chartered organizations and the troop to keep the leaders up to date on training and program activities. As a unit commissioner, I assist units when they have problems or need assistance in training or to help answer questions about the program. As the Council Advancement Chairman, I am responsible for keeping everyone aware of the Scout advancement requirements and make sure everyone follows the same rules. We investigate and mediate when when someone thinks an Eagle Board of Review is conducted improperly or if an extension to complete the Eagle requirements is justified. We also review application for scouts with special needs. As an executive board member, I'm a member of the team to ensure the council is providing the best program available for the youth in our council. Also to make sure we have the best camps to give the youth the best week-long camp experience ever. Lady, that's a short bio, okay? It goes a mile long, but we're going to leave it at that. And I'm now going to introduce to you Dwight Yakel, 57-year member of the Boy Scouts. Dwight, how you doing?
Good morning, Matt.
Glad to have you on board here.
Thank you so much.
Dwight, now what I do with all my guests is I ask them if they'd like to be on the show. And then when they say yes, I go, okay, well, I'm going to ask you some questions. I want to write them down. I want to send them to you. This way you can meditate on them and give us a really good, thorough answer. I put none of my guests, ladies and gentlemen, are on the hot seat here. It's totally open. And so what we're going to do right now, Dwight, once I find my questions, and here they are, we're going to start asking you questions. We got till about to the top of the hour here. We got about 10 minutes, so I might cut you off a little bit if we're running out of time. Don't take it personal, okay?
Not a problem.
So we're going to start off now. Dwight, you've been in Scouts for 57 plus years, which brings up two immediate questions. One, how old are you, man? And so I don't have to do the math. How old were you when you got started in the Scouts?
Well, some people say I'm older than dirt, but it's not really true. I'm actually 65 years old, and I started scouting as a Cub Scout when I was 8 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you know the ins and outs of it altogether, right?
I hope so.
Now, the way he looks, ladies and gentlemen, for being, how old are you again?
65.
65. I think he's got a picture in the attic. It just keeps getting older and older, and he stays young looking, okay? All right, let's move on to some serious questions here.
Not a problem.
Eagle Scout is one of the biggest achievements a scout can do. I know, because I've had two sons, and they were under your supervision, by the way, who are Eagle Scouts. For those of us out there who may not know what an Eagle Scout is or what it takes to become one, can you briefly tell everyone what's involved in getting that achievement?
It's a long story, but the Eagle Scout is the highest advancement rank in the Boy Scouting. In fact, last year, 2014, 51,820 boys made Eagle Scout.
That's in 2015 alone?
In 2014 alone.
Okay.
There's about 2.25 million since 1911.
Wow, and special things come with being an Eagle Scout, but we'll hold off. I'll
special things, but very few make it. It's a very, very, very low percentage that actually start scouting and finish as an Eagle Scout. It takes at least the goal of the Boy Scouts is to make first class, which is 3 steps in the first year, and then you have Star, Life, and Eagle. And each of those steps have little, requirements where you have to earn a certain amount of merit badges. Mm-hmm. You have to have certain time that you're in the unit. You have to have leadership positions in those units. And then you have to go before a board of review to see that you are qualified to advance to the next step.
To see if you have merit, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. You may not know this answer. If you've got 50,000 in 2014, is there a percentage of what it is of overall scouts altogether that are enrolled as being, out of all the scouts enrolled, only a small percentage, that 50,000, what percentage would that be? Do you know?
It's around anywhere from 2 to 7%.
Wow, okay.
It's very low.
Very low.
And it depends on the year and how boys do, whether they stay with the program or not.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you see an Eagle Scout out there or a Star Scout or a Life Scout, they're doing a lot of hard work to become those levels, especially the Eagle Scout. So when you see one, look at them a little different and realize they've gone through a lot of stuff. Anything else on that point?
That we can go on.
All right. Question number 3. What is the purpose of scouting? What is the concept goal of becoming a scout?
Well, basically, the mission of the Boy Scouts of America is to prepare young people to make ethical and moral choices over their lifetimes by instilling in them the values of the Scout Oath and the Scout Law.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make something very clear here. As much as I am fanatical about dotting your I's and crossing your T's when it comes to concealed carry law, Dwight here is extremely the same way when it comes to Boy Scout. He reads it, understands commas and what they mean and pauses. So when he talks, he's talking the way it is in the book, and that's the way it is by gosh, okay? All right, go ahead.
Okay, and the vision, that's just the mission of the Boy Scouts. Now, you always have to have a vision of what you want to do when you have an organization like this. And the vision, believe it or not, is to have all or every eligible youth in America to become responsible, participating citizens and leaders who are guided by the Scout Oath and Law.
Yeah, how's that working out for you?
That's the vision. It's
that's
like
vision, yeah.
Baden Powell, who started this, said, I would like to have world peace. Did he make it? No, he died in World War II. But what would the world be like without his influence?
That's right.
And I keep saying, what would the world be like without our scouting influence?
Understood. Yes, you make a valid point.
And that's why it's so important.
That's how important one person can make a difference, ladies and gentlemen.
Everyone.
All right, can I move on?
Yes.
All right. In all of your years scouting and all the scouts you've seen come and go, do you see the discipline of a scout fade as time goes by? Or in most cases, does his training grow and blossom as he becomes an adult?
I can't say that it diminishes, but the training and experiences of scouting are never, ever forgotten. They always remember it. I've had scouts who have been out of the program for over 20 years. They see me in scout uniform. They come up and shake my hand and says, I used to be a scout, and I dropped out. I sure wished I hadn't. But I still remember the Scout Oath and Law, and I said, thank you.
Can they make a fire?
Some of them can.
That's good.
And we used to have it as a requirement with only 2 matches. And they said, man, I can do it with 1. It's giving them skills to prepare themselves for life.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, I've seen Dwight in action. He's excellent. He's very motivated. Maybe if you want, maybe if there's some way we can put people together when they're after this program, if they've got children who want to get involved with scouts, we'll talk about that at the end of the segment, but you might want to contact him. All right, let's go on to number 5. In recent years, all right, you ready? You ready out there?
I love it.
In recent years, the ideology of the Boy Scouts have been challenged. As the world and ideology changes, can the Boy Scouts maintain its core values and principles, or does it get watered down by the plague of diversity?
No, we still believe in the Scout Oath and the Scout Laws. We're a very diverse group. We've always have been. People don't realize that. Yes, there's issues that came up with legal issues that saying, you can't have this particular person join scouting. We've never really prevented any boy from joining scouting, no matter what. We still try to instill the values of the Scout Oath and the Scout Laws into each and every one of these boys. That's why many of them don't stay. And then later on say, wow, I wished I had. Because we have an 18-year-old age limit that once that hits 18, you can no longer become a Boy Scout.
So to recap this and make it simple, if the Boy Scouts has a code of ethics and a person wants to become a member,
yes,
as long as they maintain that code, they get to stay in.
Basically, yes. It's a matter of they are participating. We are providing them with the examples and the leadership to, again, provide that Scout Oath and that Scout Law.
Okay. All right. Very good. Dwight, time's ticking, so I'm going to move on. Would you please say the Scout Oath and tell me what you think the most important virtue of scouting is and why.
What's that now? No. The Scout Oath is, on my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout laws, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
Amen, brother. So what do you think? It's hard to say which one. I'm just throwing that out there.
I have it for you.
What is it?
It's the OMHIWDMB, the letters of the first 8 words of the Scout Oath. On my honor. That's me. That's integrity right there.
That's good.
On my honor. That puts the onus on me to do my best, because that's all I can do. And now, duty to God and my country, that kind of falls in there. To help other people at all times. Wow, that's really good, because if you can help somebody, it makes you feel better, it helps them.
You know, I'm picturing an American flag waving behind you as you're speaking.
Hopefully it's there. And then to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. So to uphold the Scout laws, to uphold everything within that Scout Oath. That's what we're trying to instill for good leadership and good leaders in America.
Fantastic. Okay, if someone wants to join the Boy Scouts, how does one do it?
Basically, they find a unit, hopefully close to their home. They'll find kids in school that are Scouts, and they'll kind of tag along with them. But they go to a unit and visit, see if it's something they kind of enjoy, and then they ask the unit leader for an application. They take that application, they have to fill it out, they have to get their parents' permission, and then they have to come back and submit that application to be processed through the council.
Good. Okay, so it's relatively simple. Just find a location and then take those steps.
Yes.
Can adults who do not have children in Scouts become involved in scouting, and in what capacity?
Any adult can join scouting, and it's the same process. You have to have an application. Now, it's a little more stringent for the adults because the application has to have approval of the chartered organization of the unit he's actually joining. He also has to, it goes through a background check so that we make sure we have the best, I guess say, ethical and moral decisions of the Scout Oath and Law. There you go. Make sure we have good people that become examples to young men so that they can succeed in life.
Very good. All right, we just got about 1 or 2 minutes left. I'm always talking about being an active participant in life. In scouting, scouts are taught to be good citizens. Explain that for me quickly, please.
Okay, we have requirements, and 3 of those requirements, believe it or not, are citizenship in the nation, citizenship in the community, citizenship in the world. We used to have citizenship in the home, but they changed it, which I think was a great deal, to family life. So all of a sudden, you've got all the citizenships that they have to learn about local government, national government, and world governments. But there's also things like camping. You think camping, citizenship? How does that apply? Well, think about when you go camping. Are you going to pollute waters? Are you going to trash up the area? These are things of citizenship that boys learn. And we, in fact, requirement 10 of the Camping Merit Badge says, what are the things that you did to earn this badge that taught you good citizenship? Mm-hmm. So we look to making leaders and making good citizens within the community, nation, and the world.
Fantastic. He is a true participant in life, ladies and gentlemen. Last question. We got to wrap it up.
Sure.
What would you tell parents out there to encourage them to get their children involved in scouting?
Oh, that's kind of a tough one. But basically, scouting is a game with a purpose. We try to make things fun. We prepare boys for camping in the outdoors, giving them life skills and teaching them about being a good citizen. In fact, I had one former scout. He called home to his mom and says, I just got into Baylor Law School because I'm an Eagle Scout. And his mom called and told me about this, which I thought was kind of cool. But what about that 4-point average he had? And what about that leadership positions in the college that he was doing? And what about all that serving other people with service projects in the community that he did? No, it wasn't just about an Eagle Scout. It just so happened that everybody on that particular board were Eagle Scouts.
Yeah.
And so they related on a common ground.
That's right.
But it's the individual that does his thing that makes them great. And Eagle Scouts, all of them, seem to be great.